Alright, so in the last video, we learned how to create a date table using DAX in Microsoft Power BI Desktop. Now, how can we create columns using DAX as well? So in the date table that we created, you can see that it is starting from 1st of September 2013 based on the date table, the date column that we have inside of financial. Now, the next thing that we're going to be doing is to create new columns so that we can populate this table until we are satisfied or based on the requirement. Now, if you click on this date, make sure you are clicking on the date table that we have that we just created. So the date table has been created and the date column is inside of it. Now we are going to navigate to new column. So basically, we are not creating a new table presently. We are inside the column tools as against the table tools because the table has been created. So now we say new column, and then you can see that a new column has been created so that we can populate the date table. Let's say, for example, the first thing that we want to do is to extract the year. So the name of the column that I want to create now is called year, and the function that I'm going to be using is year as well. So I'm going to say, hey, I want to create a column for year. Then I want to use this function year to extract the year from the date table. So I'm going to say date based on the date that we just created. So I'm going to be going for the second option. You are not to use the date that is here because this date is a function. We are going to be using the date table date column that we've created before. So we'll be going for this date. As you can see, the icon is in form of a column already. So we are not going to be going for the date that has fx because that's a function and we are not writing a function. We basically want to reference the date table date column that we created the last time. So if you click on that, then just close your bracket. So if you use enter in this case, enter is going to add extra arguments or parameters. So just close your bracket, make sure you have date, then you close your bracket. This date that has a quotation, single quotation means date table, and the one that has the square bracket means date column. So date table date column that we created, that's exactly what we want to work with. Then you press or you go ahead and run your query. Now we have 2013, so the year has been extracted out. We are going to do the same thing for the month and say, hey, I want to create the month column. We have month and equals to month because we want to extract the month out of the date. Then we're going to put the same date, then close the parentheses, then run it. Then we're going to have the month. So the month is September, which is 9, and this is correct. So let's go ahead and create a new column and extract the day and see how it works. So we have day equals day, then put the date as usual, then close the parentheses and run it. Then the day is going to be extracted out as well. So let's try the quarter. We want to extract the quarter. Then I'm basically going to say a equals to quarter. Then the date function, put the date, then run it. Then I'm going to have the quarter. So September is in the third quarter of the year. Now let's try more functions. Let's say, for example, I still want the weekday, then I'm going to say equals to weekday. Then I put the date as usual. So run this. Then I'm going to have the weekday. So basically, the weekday is different from day. We need to specify that. So day is basically saying we have 30 days average. On the average, we have 30 days in a month. So this is going to read from 1st, 2nd, 3rd until the 30th, then start another day. But when it comes to the weekday is basically saying, is it Monday? Is it Tuesday? We have 7 days in a week, and we can see when it gets to 1 to 7, then it starts another 1 to 7. That is the day of the week. So weekday is day of the week, day is the day of the month. So let's create a new column and call it week number to extract the week number out. So we have week number. So the function for week number is week num, and we're going to put the date as usual. then run it, and then we have 36. So we have 52 weeks in a year. So this guy is basically telling us that this particular week is at the 36th week of that year. So for the weekday, actually, we still have like extra arguments that we can add. So we can basically say, hey, I want this day to start from this particular day. So we can start your weekday from Sunday. Some people start counting the weekday from Sunday, Monday through to Saturday. Some can start from Monday through to Sunday. So depending. So we have 1, 2, 3, which is basically telling us or asking us, do you want to start from this particular place? As you can see, this is from Sunday to Saturday. And for this second option, which is the 2, this is saying that from Monday through to Sunday. And the third option is saying from Monday through to Sunday. And it's going to start from 0 to 6 instead of 1 to 7. So depending on how you want to format it, you can actually go for the option. But we can go by the default as well, which is basically from Sunday to Monday. I mean from Sunday to Saturday. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. That's 7 days. Now, if we're done with that, let's say, for example, now, in this case, you see that we extracted the month. We extracted the weekday. But the month is giving us in numbers instead of text. So let's say, for example, we want to have the actual Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and so on and so forth. Then we can simply say, hey, you know what? I want to get the month name. There is no function called month name in Microsoft Power BI Desktop or in DAX. So we are going to be using the function called format. So now we're saying that, hey, I want to format this date. So the date that we've been working with, I want to format this date, comma. What is the formatting type? So if we have learned SQL, you are going to be familiar with this function, or even in Excel. So we're going to say MMMM. So if I say, hey, I want to format this date in MMMM. MMMM means in month, and I want it in a textual value. And in this case, you can see now we have September. So the M's are 4. If you reduce the M's to 3, then you are going to have the short form of the month. So basically, we are going to have, instead of having September, October, December, and so on and so forth, have Sep, Oct, Dis, and so on and so forth. So the more you reduce the value, the more the textual values are going to be reducing, and at the end of the day, they are going to be reduced to numbers. Say for example, if you reduce these guys to 1M, they are going to have 1 instead of, the 9. So for September, so if you have 4 M's, then you are going to have month name, the full one. Also, we have another option, another argument, which is optional. So anytime you see arguments in square brackets, it means it is optional. If you provide it, you're fine. If you did not provide it, you're still fine. So the last argument for the format is the locale. So if you have a particular location or culture that you want to provide, then you can do that. Let's say, for example, I want to format this date in French instead of normal English. Then I can just simply say, hey, the French code is FR, like this. So if you put FR, then what you're going to have is that this guy changes to French, as you can see. So depending on any culture that you want to provide, be it Arabic, German, anyone, Hindu, Korean or Chinese, anyone of your choice, you can simply put that and you're going to have your result. So let's maintain this guy to be in the normal default English formatting. So now we've been able to format the month name to be in a textual value, and then we have September. So let's try and do the same for the weekday. So instead of 1, 2, 3, 4 to 7, we want to have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and so on and so forth. So we have the week name, let's call it week name, and we're going to call it format as well. Then the date column, we are formatting the date column, comma. Now the formatting type for the date is going to be DDDT instead of month, or as against to the month name that we add MMMM. So now we're going to run it, then it's going to give us the week name. So we have week name, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and so on and so forth. You can as well reduce it anyhow you want and say, hey, I want it to be in short form. There you have it. So this is basically how you can make use of the date functions in Microsoft Power BI Desktop and using DAX. We have a couple of them more, but we are going to be exploring just one of them. Then we are going to go and see the next function that we're going to be dealing with. Now, let's say, for example, I want to know the end of month. So let's say, for example, we have September, 1st of September 2013. If I ask you now that we have February, so February of 2024, how many days do we have in February 2024? Some people may have to check up the calendar. Some people may have to try and Google it and see what exactly or when did how many days do we have in February of 2024. If I ask you how many days is there in February 2023, so we may not be sure exactly of the end of the month. And in some cases, some end of the month, we may have to sing the song, the nursery rhymes that we have to know the particular end of month. But in Microsoft Power BI Desktop, we have a function that can calculate that, and it is called EO month. So you can say EO month. So EO month basically is saying that, okay, I want to calculate the end of month of this particular date or for this particular month. So if I say end of month of date, comma, then the month, so let's say for example, which is 9 September, although this guy majorly works with what's it called, it majorly works with when you are trying to check for what is like the past month or like the before and the after. So as you can see, we say returns the date in date time format of the last day of the month before or after a specified number of months. So we can say, hey, 9 months ago, what is the end of the month 9 months ago? So this guy majorly works when you are working with a measure and not columns, because now we're going to have the same result for almost everything. So when we start working with, but this is a function, an important function when it comes to Microsoft Power BI Desktop and DAX. So when it comes to manipulating your data, you want to know the end of the month. Let's, for example, 9 months ago. So -9 means 9 months ago, and if you put 9 means in the next 9 months, what will be the end of the month? So this is how you can use the end of month in Microsoft Power BI Desktop. So as you can see now, we said based on this data that we have, which is 2013, so we have 1/9/2014, then we are basically saying that in the next 9 months, so 9 months to this date, what will be the end of the date? Then this guy is going to add 9 months to September, then it's giving us June, and it's telling us that the end of the month of June is going to be 30th. So this is how to make use of the end of month in Microsoft Power BI Desktop. But it is not, or it may not be one of the things that you want to add on your columns or in your tables. You can do that as a measure or when you have a particular variable that you want to calculate. So in this video, this is where we are going to be rounding off for the date functions. In the next video, we are going to be exploring some other functions that we have as far as DAX function is concerned. Thank you, and see you in the next video.